Hey, I'm Tyler Halcomb, your favorite realtor and investor. Welcome to Agent X and Friends, where I interview the movers and shakers of the business and real estate industries in the Indianapolis and surrounding areas. Relax and enjoy the conversation. We are rolling. Welcome back to Agent X and Friends. Did you even know that's what those were called? Agent X.
I didn't.
Some people think it's kind of corny, but that's what we're rolling with.
I'm here for that.
Okay. All right. We have here today girl mom.
It's true.
Business owner, organizer extraordinaire, teacher, director, band director, and just client and friend. So we're happy to have today Natalie Fancher.
Thank you so much.
On the podcast today.
Thank you.
So we're actually here in my new home.
Congratulations.
Thank
Always
you.
So exciting for a fresh start.
Thank you. So as we got kind of started here today, she's going to organize my kitchen. And we're so excited for that because we're kind of a mess in that way. So we really need help
We all are.
for like our marriage. To have this done by you.
Yes, and you're not the first person to come to me and say that, but it's the best, and it will help for sure.
Well, it's going to be awesome because we're kind of makeshifted in here. We still got a little kind of a work zone, and so we got it all set up. We're ready to roll, and so I just can't wait to have that taken off of our plate for a move is like awesome. And just to never have it done before anyway, and just be a horrible organizer myself, that like, it's going to be so good. So I'm so excited. So I start every one of these podcast interviews off with the question, you were born and then what? So can you just fill us in? First
of all, I love that question. And it's pretty wild.
I stole that question from somebody else, but thank you.
I won't tell.
Thank you. Okay.
But I think it's just, as I was thinking about that answer, I would say I had a plan for what my life and career especially was going to be. And then all of that changed. So
awesome. I love it.
But I'm also I'm a big believer in that every experience prepares you for the next thing.
Yeah.
So nothing that you do or an interaction that you have with somebody is a waste of time. It somehow prepares you for the next thing.
That's a great mindset to have.
See that intertwine a lot.
Good. So growing up, kind of what was your life strict? I don't know. I feel like you're an organizer. Everything is perfect. I love it. Even like texting with you and like emailing with you and websites, it's all perfect. And I love that. Like that makes me like feel so good when things are like nice and neat and organized. So like growing up, how was that? I'm going
to shatter all of those things.
Are you kidding me?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I am naturally not tidy. A slob, honestly.
Man.
My husband will be like, Natalie, can you hire yourself to put your closet back together? Yeah. So it was funny. My mom, who is helping me here today, we were talking about just getting into the business and the irony that I'm doing what I'm doing. I am incredibly organized. I have a spot for everything in my home. But again, we are all a work in progress. Now I'm working on creating the habits to get it to return to that spot. So what happens with me is I kind of like, I'll get to that later because I'm focused on something else.
Yeah.
But when I get to that later, the tidying up goes so fast because I am organized, but I'm not naturally tidy.
Got it. So, all right.
Growing
Should
up,
I be worried? I'm just
I know. No, you shouldn't be worried. I don't say that. I just mean that sometimes, a lot of my clients are, they're very apprehensive. I mean, this is a very vulnerable process. What I do is you're going into people's homes, you're seeing, a kitchen and pantry, that's pretty standard. But when you get into people's storage rooms or all of that, you're seeing the vulnerable parts of their life. And I don't take that lightly.
Yeah.
But all that to say, when you're doing what you're doing, it's kind of like you're seeing behind the scenes of what makes a home and what makes people function. And sometimes it's not an organization problem, it's a habit problem.
Yeah.
And seeing how all of that blends in together. And so what I love about what I do is that I show the clients and our team shows the clients the potential of their homes that, hey, now we're going to set up your systems so that you're able to follow them.
Yeah, the habits that's a good way to look at it. So like we can set it up, but we need to get in the habits of doing it and keeping it that way. That's what's like. So I think, but once it's all there and it's set up exactly how you want it, it's going to be easy to do that. It's going to be easy, and especially with kids going in and grabbing stuff and throwing stuff and moving things around, it's just going to be nice to have a spot for everything. And so I guess I want to know, like, were your previous career?
Yes.
So prior to this, what were you doing?
So, okay, going back then to your question about my childhood and all of that. So that was habits. Now, I did used to like rearrange my furniture and everything, all of that.
Yeah.
But as far as what I thought I would be doing, I am a musician by trade, by natural ability. And that was what I thought I was going to be doing. And I still do it. But I grew up in a very musical home. And my family is full of creatives. My mom is a professional violinist and a piano teacher and a professional piano player. My sister is an artist. She was an art teacher, now a principal. And so all of us have that administrative teacher. My dad was a pastor. And so it's that kind of leading, teaching, empathetic side and the creative side. But growing up, music was what I went to school for. Piano, flute, and voice were my primary instruments.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What's the instrument? So I thought it was piano. So piano, flute, and voice.
Yes, that's what I went to school for.
Voice means you can sing really well.
Right.
All right. Well, that's good. You want to give us something? I'm just kidding.
No.
You don't have to.
A vocal cord surgery later. It's not the same. But but anyway, so I went to school.
You sing while you clean, or while you organize?
My brain thinks in song lyrics for sure. And I'm not even kidding you. There are clients that I've had where we'll be talking about something, and then both of us, I'm an elder millennial, as they say. So like our childhood.
Is that what they call it now?
That's what I call it.
That's what.
I'm an
so
elder
you don't want to be in
millennial.
that other generation, whatever. Millennials get a bad rap.
I know, but
so
I'm an elder, so that's
so it's different. So you're on the good end of that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's probably good and bad of both sides. But anyway, so that's always fun, bringing that with the musical part of clients of hearing, singing song lyrics together or whatever. But that was growing up. I went to school for music education. I was a band director and choir director mixed in there for 12 years.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yes. And from middle school, I was like, I want to be a middle school band director. And middle school was the age where I loved that they were still teachable and impressionable, but I could talk to them like a young adult. And I just loved that age and loved teaching for sure. And did that in Indianapolis. And then in 2019, my husband got a job promotion and transfer. And so that took us up to Northwest Indiana.
Gosh, has it been that long already?
Yes.
When that happened?
It's
Man.
wild.
So I remember you were a Franklin Township resident. That's where I'm based.
Yeah, like Center Grove, Greenwood.
Then you went to Center Grove, right? And then you went up there. So, okay. So that took you away. That pulled you away from your middle school. Like you knew what you were going to do.
Yeah.
And so when you went up there, you were kind of sad to leave. In a sense, but
it was one of those that had been on our radar for a little while, and I'm telling you, it's just the timing.
Yeah.
It was the timing. It was ready to take that next step. Also, I knew no one. I mean, I live 10 minutes away from my family. My family is very close.
Yeah.
And so moving to a new area and not knowing a soul, I told Ryan, I need a year off of teaching. And if somebody says, hey, do you want to go grab coffee? I wanted to be able to say yes. So if we do this, I need to have that. And at the time I had one young kiddo. And so just needing that sense of community was incredibly important to me because I was leaving all I knew.
I get that.
And that's really overwhelming, but the timing was great. And that's it wasn't a bad situation. I was ready.
So
to
he
take a break.
fulfilled. He allowed you to do that.
Yeah.
He fulfilled. Ryan, we know. So he did it. He figured it out.
He didn't really have a choice.
He did.
I was like,
somehow I don't doubt that.
But yes, I mean, we worked together for that. We had an agreement, and that's the rest is history.
Yeah. So that's a perfect transition then, right? So what was your buffer period?
A year.
1 year. So you said you need 1 year to be able to do your thing.
Chill.
And then you were ready to roll. And that's when Nice and Neat with Natalie was born, or how does that?
Right. So I told him that I mean, the plan was that I was going to go back to teaching, that I was going to find another band director position that was available in the community. And I reached out to the middle school and did some sectionals with their flutes and things like that. So I still wanted to be plugged into the school. Mm-hmm. And within that year, that's when my life changed. So do you want to get into the story of how everything started?
I want to hear all of it. That's what I'm here.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So I'm going to just first preface this, because if you would have told me 10 years ago, you're going to be a business owner, I'm going to tell you right now, I would have said, I'm too dumb to do that.
Come on.
I'm not even kidding. Growing up, I'm telling you, music was my thing. In high school, it was like I worked my butt off to get a C+ in economics and all of that. I was like, why am I learning this? I'm never gonna use this. And it just was not business. I mean, I had no experience with entrepreneurs or that journey. Never watched Shark Tank before. And, anything like that. So I had this view of what business was or being a business owner.
I don't think you're alone in that.
And that's what I am kind of surprised about. And so that's something that, anytime now I see that, or if somebody's like, I'm thinking about doing that, I'm like, if I can do it, and I don't know where any countries are.
That's funny. That's exactly how I am. That's how I was with school. That's how, I don't know. I can't tell you where anything is on a map.
Right. But I can sure get your house organized.
There you go. I just think I always come in, I've heard this before, like I come at it from the lens of like, why try it. And if it doesn't work out, then you can go back and just do what everybody else is doing and just go get another job.
Right.
But at least you tried it, as long as it's not going to absolutely ruin, your life or something.
Exactly.
Then go out and try it. We'll see if it works. If it works, it's going to be amazing. And if not, we go back and just do what we were doing.
Right.
That's the worst thing that can happen.
Right.
So.
And I think there's this, there can be a stigma and, all the things that go into being a business owner of imposter syndrome, and all of those things and comparison. And it's just, staying in your lane and staying focused on how you want to serve the people that you want to serve.
Yep,
and that's the biggest picture.
You hit it on the head. We've heard that a couple times, actually,
really?
as we do these. Yeah, the same kind of thing.
Nice.
So I think,
there's truth to it.
100%.
Right.
So okay.
That, just having that, knowing that in the background, we moved into a cul-de-sac, and again, right before COVID, obviously nobody knew that was happening at the time, but they were all very close. They had relationships with one another. They've kind of built this community. And so they welcomed us to it. And that was amazing. So one night we were having a bonfire outside and getting to know my neighbors. And then one of them asked me, what do you like to do? Or what have you been doing in the past? And I had mentioned that I was a band director and all of that. And then the word organizing popped out. And I've always loved to organize. Never in a million years thought this could be a career or that anybody does this. Yeah. And so I just mentioned I like to organize. And then my neighbor said, she goes, I'm not going to let you into my kitchen. And I'm like, let me see it. Let me get in there.
Nice.
And then after a shot of tequila,
that always helps.
She let me in, and I told her, I will organize your kitchen for you. And she was like, okay, go for it. And I'm like, really? So the next morning I woke up at 9 a.m. I went to Dollar Tree. I had no idea what I was doing.
This is my job now.
Yeah. I don't even think I had Instagram. I had no reference of anything. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew that I loved to organize and I could create some kind of system.
Yeah.
So went there, spent the entire day organizing the kitchen, and I loved it. And then at another neighborhood get-together bonfire event, she told somebody else.
Word of mouth. That's the best.
And I'm not kidding you. That's kind of how that started. And then throw in a baby, throw in a pandemic. I was one of those, I definitely dipped my toe into what this was like. I wasn't, I know sometimes people are like, it's all or nothing, you know, but for me, my entrepreneurial journey was dipping my toe in it, seeing, do people want this? Do they need it? And they do.
So I love that. That's such a cool story. Just shot a tequila and now here we are. I'm just kidding. But
it's the real deal.
You could tell, like, after you did that for somebody, like their eyes lit up and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe someone just like took this off my plate, and no pun intended. Got that. But
I'm here for a good pun, Tyler.
I gotta throw in a good pun every once in a while. But you could you could feel like how excited they were with what you did, and that kind of validated what you were thinking, you know, this could be a good career path or business even for you. So you did that a couple times for neighbors.
Yes.
Then you're like, all right, I'm going to go pedal to the metal.
Right. And then I was doing, like I said, it just grew and just became more consistent. And then I was solo by myself for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then, gosh, now I have to think about the year, but about a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year and a half, I added my first teammate.
Wow. That's a huge step in a business as well. I know that's a big hurdle.
It's really important to me to cultivate a positive team atmosphere, collaboration. That's everything. And so part of that is discovering the natural talents and gifts of your teammates and seeing, okay, how is this going to go if you take over this or trying this and doing all of that. So my teammate that's in college, she's going to spearhead some of that affiliate kind of thing and the brands and all of that.
Got it.
Kind of tapping into that part of it.
That makes a lot of sense. So and it's tough to give up some of the business. So like when you have helpers here, was it tough to say, all right, I'm going to let go and let you do this? Like how I just kind of feel like as I'm kind of that way too. So I'm like, I can see how it'd be hard being a professional organizer, business owner, and now you're bringing in teammates, and it's hard to kind of let go. Yes, a little bit.
100%. But I also have to keep in mind: does my need for control outweigh growing our business? And it's just the balance. It's like, okay, what's the ultimate end game here, and how are we going to work together to be able to do that?
You can go faster by yourself, but further with other people.
And you just can't do it all. I mean, you physically can't, mentally can't do it all. And having support, whatever that looks like, whether it's a team of a business or you're riding solo, but having that village and having that help is incredible.
I couldn't agree more. So, all right, I want to know numbers, a little bit of number talk. So I know you got to do some homework on this too. So I want to, like, how many homes have we done so far?
See,
you looked back into this?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Okay. Do you have any?
We are in the hundreds.
You're in the hundreds.
For sure.
Wow.
Yes.
That is so much.
Sure.
So, I mean, you're doing probably a couple a month then?
Yes.
A few a month then? It's probably on average.
And it's just wild how sometimes timing works and client availability. Sometimes I'll have a week where I'm in people's homes 2 or 3 days, and then I'll have a week where I'm not. And it's admin work and working on the business. I mean, like sometimes spring cleaning that causes an influx and things like that.
Yeah, it is a little seasonal maybe, I guess, then with more.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
I didn't think about that. It is that way-ish in real estate too.
Right. So. A lot of our clients ask us to do multiple spaces. So my client list might be like this, but the amount of spaces that I'm working on, I mean, it's just, it's It's always growing.
Thousands of hours.
It's so many. I mean, I can't even. I should really total that up. I should.
I'm just curious. I mean, that's it. I didn't know if we were doing. We can do one a month. That's it. That's all we.
No,
because this is just. But you are cranking it out.
I'm trying.
Like, this is really, really grown.
Yes,
like,
it's so
that's
fun.
Amazing. I love that. And then your area, I've pulled you down. I pulled you down to your roots.
You did.
But this is kind of far. So what kind of radius are you usually in?
I kind of go by time.
Okay,
so like a 30-minute radius around like Northwest Indiana and that corner. I really don't go into Chicago. There's a whole market there. So I just I'm kind of digging into that Northwest Indiana area and loving it. We need to get you
another team down here.
One day.
You want to expand even further.
One day. Hopes and dreams. This is on my list.
I think that would be awesome. But you're down here, so you're cranking them out. So
for you.
Thank you. Just for me. So I'm doing something right now.
Yeah.
All right. I want to know what your favorite organizing item is.
Okay.
And why.
All right. So when I go into stores now, after doing this for several years, if you think like those movies, I haven't even seen The Matrix, but what I imagine The Matrix would be where you're scanning and the radar's coming, all the stats of those things. So when I walk into a store, that's where I am with bins and organizing products. It's like, okay, will this fit on a 10-inch shelf? And
you're like
how
the Terminator of organizers or something. I like it.
So my brain thinks in bins and containers, and I've used a lot and tried a lot and all of that, but there are some that are tried and true.
Okay.
And there's a lot of choices out there. But if I had to pick one, it would be this gem right here.
Wow.
This is what we call a lazy Susan. And she is not lazy.
Shout out to Susan.
She's working hard.
Shout out to Susan.
But these, if you don't have any organizing products in your home, this is one to get. And they come in, I believe this is a 10-inch, but they come in multiple sizes. So it is very important to measure a space.
Okay.
So you want to measure I can give a little tutorial.
There you go.
You can measure the depth in here, sets in here.
Oh, that's perfect.
And that's really important because you want to maximize what your space is. That's another part of creating functional systems. But this is also great for those deep cabinets, corner cabinets of a kitchen.
Yeah.
So you might see one of those in yours.
I'm excited to see these.
Under the sink, cleaning supplies, bathroom supplies, anything that's up top that is difficult to reach. I'm all about
this is a secret weapon
making things easy. So this is one of those that definitely does that.
Okay. Love it.
Yes.
All right. And then what's your favorite space? Like, do you have a favorite space?
If I had to, there's things that I love.
You have to choose
about all of them.
Yeah. If you had to choose.
Okay. Can I do a top two?
Yeah, you can do a top two.
Okay.
We'll allow it.
All right. The kitchen pantry combo, I love.
Okay.
Those are so fun to do because a lot of times there's not huge emotional attachments to those kind of things. And not that can be a bad thing. We do that all the time too. Yeah. But it's functional. It's the heart of the home. Usually if a client is starting out with us, a lot of times that's the first place they want to start. Yeah. Because you're in it every single day. Right. And so those are always fun.
Did you just say that because that's what I need?
No, no, really. That's why when you're like kitchen and pantry.
We're in there all the time. I need this to be, take this stress out of going in here and looking for. Or the type of people like I'm the person that puts it back in the same place every time, exactly how it should go. Labels facing forward, and I know where it goes.
Yes, Tyler.
Wife can come in, Chelsea can come in and go, take it out. Put it in a completely different area when she puts it back in without the lid on. Right. Like that's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
So this is really
I've got my work cut out for me.
So I might get in trouble for that comment, but
it's okay.
We need to cut
and it's
that
important
too.
that, it's like you balance each other out, and that's important too.
Yeah, so that is true. It's we do balance each other out very well in that way. So, all right. I think how we are on time right now. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. No, that's just we're doing awesome.
Okay.
You're about to head into a segment called Turbo Time with Tyler. Turbo Time with Tyler. And we're just, I'm going to be completely honest on, like, some of these have gone well and some of them been a little, so we're just we are straight up, honest, literally throwing this into Chat GPT.
Okay.
And we're trying to figure out rapid questions that you have to answer based on kind of the organizing realm.
Okay.
So some of them are kind of weird. So we're going to kind of hop around. But
okay.
All right. Are you ready?
I don't know.
Yeah,
yes,
well,
I'm
maybe.
ready.
All right. No, they're not that crazy. But
okay.
All right. When you do a spice rack,
okay.
Are we doing colors or alphabetical order?
Alphabetical order.
Oh, that was a quick answer.
Done.
All right. If you had to choose a name for organizing your pantry and certain names that you would organize it, Carb Castle or Snack Sanctuary?
Snack Sanctuary.
You are quick at this. You're good. All right. Are you arranging items by favorites or expiration date?
Favorites.
That's what this says. I don't know. You got to answer it. It's what AI wants you to answer.
Ain't nobody got time to look for expiration dates. Just search for it.
I can tell you that we just threw away a lot more than you would think based on expiration dates when we just made our move over.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question.
Great. No, this isn't what this is for. All right, what you got?
What was the oldest year on your expiration dates?
Tell
us, Tyler.
I hope there wasn't a teen in there, but I'm pretty sure there was legit some in there for 2020 for sure. I don't think we got to the teens.
That's not bad.
That's not that. I guess it depends on what it is a little bit.
All that to say, you're not alone.
Yeah. So, are we a fan of the junk drawer?
We are a fan. See, and some people in the industry have renamed it utility drawer, or it's just something. I still call it a junk drawer, but we're going to make it an organized junk drawer.
Organized junk drawer.
Yes.
All right. I love that. We use our junk drawer a lot.
It just comes, I'm just used to saying it. So I don't call it a utility. I'm just going to be real. We call it a junk drawer, but it's going to be organized for sure.
All right. I love it. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
Learning about how it happened,
so
how all this came up, and just the success, the quick success.
Appreciate it. It's been a wild ride, and I just love it so much. It does not feel like I go to work every day. I wake up and I'm like, I get to go to work, and it's amazing. I'm very, very thankful.
Yeah, well, it's been awesome. It's a great business. I'm so excited I need to let you go so you can actually do my job. Stuff. So I'm excited for that. Thanks for coming. Being on Nice and Neat with Natalie.
Thank you so much.
Natalie.
Thank you.
And if anybody ever needs anybody, here she is.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. That's it for Agent X and Friends today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.